Megan.
Oh, it's just us.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, good morning, Carmen. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Greg, how are you?
Good morning.
Good.
Good morning, everyone.
So we have a new face. So I just figured, for your audience, Warren, obviously we always go around the room. But John McKinney, Assistant City Manager.
Michelle Oak, HR Director.
Carly Meek, Assistant City Attorney.
Candace Gates, HR Generalist.
Greg Forehand, PBA.
And Warren Carmen, POPD Lieutenant.
And just to confirm, you did receive my memo where she was part of the negotiation
I did.
team? Okay. I just also want to, so I did discuss with Wayne about the negotiation team. Obviously, the memo went out stating that I was, still the lead negotiator. I just want to, just make the statement that, I know we had a long process last year. If there's a problem at all with me maintaining being the lead, I have no problem stepping back and allowing Michelle to do it, and I would just assist her. So I will throw that to y'all if there's any issues.
No, and I mean, you guys have the right to have whoever you want, and we're happy to deal with whoever you guys. And if you don't need to give us formal notice if you want to add or subtract somebody or somebody show up and help. I don't care who's at the table. If anybody that can help, let's do it.
I follow the process that was given to me by the city attorney, and I was told 2 years ago that we had to do the memo, so we would always follow it up if there's a change, just to be clear. Meeting dates, so I just want to kind of get on everyone's, calendar, what looks good. So first and foremost, well, maybe I should have done this first. Let's go to item 6, articles for discussion.
Okay.
To me, the only 2 items that we have are Articles 24 wages and 25 retirement plan. So, to discuss this year. So I just want to make sure, because we went and redid pretty much all the articles. So, I went through them with legal before coming in here. There was no change to Article 1, no change for Article 2, no change to Article 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We made changes to Article 15, clarifying prior year MOUs, making sure that everything was in there, so that was corrected. Well, there was no correction, we just clarified to make sure it was there. We had no change to Article 16. Article 17, there was no change, but we wouldn't sign off on it last year until there was new policies in place. I submitted to you previously with no comment back. Policy 1-14, emergency suspension of city operations. And policy 1-37, emergency pay policy. So that was shared with not only PBA, but all other bargaining units to the change. So that was Article 17.
The 17 just refers back to it, right?
Yes, sir.
17.
Yes, sir. That's
So
all
we
there
don't have
was.
yeah, we don't have any control over that anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was a held article.
Right, because we didn't have the policy. Right?
Yes, sir. Article 18, we did amend that just to be consistent with IUPA. There was no change to Article 19, sick leave. There was no change to Article 20, association rep and activities. 21, insurance. 22, uniform and equipment. We made a couple of minor changes, mostly related to the detective allowance. Even though there's not a lieutenant detective, but
right?
I wanted to be consistent amongst. No change to bereavement leave, wages. We obviously had changes in there. There were no changes to 25 retirement plan.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
The
We put
48
it, you're right.
the 48 and
Yep,
20.
you're correct, sorry about that. We changed, added 25-1A, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Article 26 was a complete rewrite, consistent with IUPA.
26 was a drug testing?
Mhm.
Okay.
27, jury duty, no change. 28, rules and regs, no change. 29, education, no change. Article 30, military leave, no change. 31 through 35, we're basically just renumbering so that Article 35, now the final article, was duration of agreement. So,
Yeah, just for the record, and
Yep.
only for the record, we did make some changes in the sick leave with the ICMA, changed it to.
yes, sir, to just 457, that is correct. But there was no substantial change.
No
in
substantial
terms of-
changes.
Yep, just a naming, so.
Just for the record, we did make changes.
So for Article 35, obviously that will be a change, but
Right.
it's not really substantial. So I would just say that for Article 35, the city is asking just for a 2-year contract so that it bumps up with IUPA so that it's terminating, the effective date ends the same as IUPA. That's not for a year.
It's all gonna depend on what we do with the other two ordinances.
Absolutely. So with that said, I have no articles that I am looking to open up except for Article 24 and 25. So I wanted to share all these with you.
Right.
So that you know that I'm not looking to, discuss any other article unless you have something.
Well, I think we're pretty comfortable with it. The only thing is legally wise, since the contract expires September 30, we need to go and sign off on all of them again, the two of us.
Technically, you don't. I mean,
Okay.
Yes.
And the one thing I would say is from our side, what Warren's saying is we're good talking about just those 2 articles. I'd rather not sign off on everything else, and here's why. Every once in a blue moon, I get into a negotiation where you're real close, and if one side could give on some other non-related issue, it could push it over the top. So, we'll all just keep that open for if maybe there's something at the end that might seal the
Understood.
deal.
So, I believe that, again, we went through every
We did.
article,
We did.
making sure that we were comfortable with every piece of language that was there. I believe we had the time. So, again, I've received no direction to open any article other than these 2. So, with that stated.
Okay, but the contract expires on September 30th. So
Absolutely.
So it's
If
not a
you-
matter of opening
Yeah.
articles, it's that the entire contract.
That is correct. We were asked, if you recall, to sign all the articles,
Yes.
even whether they were changes or not, just because of the proceedings that we went through. So I did not do that in prior years.
Right.
So, but
Yeah,
our
if-
legal
if
will
these two are
verify
comfortable.
that.
We're good to do it
I'll just
whichever
work-
way you guys want to do it.
Okay, yep, I wasn't intending to do it unless asked to. Okay. So with that stated, I did receive the outside actuarial evaluation with the items that were discussed during the process. I have a couple of major questions that it's not ready for dissemination yet. I've sent that to them for clarification. I have asked that here in the next few weeks that we have a meeting with council under executive session to go through that, because obviously that was a bargaining item asked for by them to do. So I believe, what we said today's morning, I'm hoping that occurs no later than June 4th, that I would like to, the end of that week, schedule our first round of meetings, past this one.
That's late. We don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, I'm gonna share
'Cause-
my thoughts on 24,
Right.
just,
All right, well, here's my thoughts going in, right?
yep,
we're not gonna cut our own throats and wait till November if this comes to an impasse type situation. It's not something I want to have happen, but if it's a possibility, the city has made it clear they're not gonna give us back pay for availing ourselves of the opportunities that are available to us to come to a conclusion. So I can't afford my guys to go another 6 months without back pay. So if this comes, and I'm hoping it never does, but if this comes to another impasse situation, it's going to be early because my guys can't afford to wait another 6 months for a raise and not get back pay. They just can't do it. So time is kind of in the essence. I know you have an unrelated thing that's going to set you down
2 weeks.
at a minimum.
Yep. I am, it is my expectation that I will more than likely be out on FMLA from July 30th through the 14th of August, whatever, that Monday is.
Right, and that in and of itself may be 2 years. I don't know. It kind of depends on
But
how this discussion goes with
yeah,
these
there's
two.
a team here.
Yeah, I got
So
you.
If something has to occur and we agree that I can participate via Teams,
I'm gonna be out that, kind of that exact same time period too, so that's
yeah.
good time.
Hopefully, it's really good.
Right, and I know you're only worried about PBA.
Yeah.
But I'm in the same boat with the other union, and they told me the same thing. They're also out.
Yeah.
Half of them are out the first 2 weeks, so it was actually, if I had to schedule it, it was a great
Yeah,
schedule.
I'm out the last week of June. So
Well,
we're talking about now till the third week in June
you,
is,
you.
so I'm hoping we can, and it kind of depends on.
So let's do this. I will share with you what wages are that I'm going to ask for.
Okay.
If we want to have another meeting prior to June 4th, and you mold it over and want to come back, then I'm good. So just talking about wages,
I got you.
wages only, is I know that at this time I'm authorized for 5%. Okay? So we haven't had the executive session,
Right.
so I know that that's what I'm authorized. What I heard repeatedly during the process was that the whole $1.95 came up repeatedly, that if we had known the ramifications, we might have done something different. That was said during the hearing. Okay? So I have broached the city manager that I'm going to ask for, upon ratification of this agreement, a one-time lump sum payment of $4,250. That is the bridge from the time period that the PBA did not receive that $1.95. On the city side, the wages that we offered and was imposed did include that $1.95, which went into effect on the April 8th. So next week's paycheck, you will get that retro back to April 8th and forward.
Okay, I'm not trying to argue, but I need to put it on the record. If you include that $1.95 in what the raise was that was imposed, then it was nowhere near that number, that 975, that was presented to council. Because the one that was presented to council for IUPA was exclusive of that $1.95 raise. That number that you presented, 7 and change, was exclusive of that $1.95 raise to them. And it's inclusive now, you're saying, for the lieutenants. So
The offer that the city made last year that was imposed from what the direction received was the $1.95 plus 5% on the prior wages. And I
I
know,
sure wished it had been presented that way, because it wasn't. It was presented that we were getting a 9.75% raise. And that's just not true.
well, again,
Water
I'm
under the
not,
bridge.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
trying to
let's
go
move
back. I
Right.
really
Yeah.
don't want to go
Yeah.
back.
Well, of course you don't.
Well, we can.
Yeah.
So,
Of course you don't, but if you're, that's fine. Is a lump sum pensionable?
It is, it's not, ARPA money.
It's not approved yet.
Right, it's not ARPA money.
Mhm.
That was excluded as pensionable. Your pension states that it's all earnings, and so this isn't an exclusion of a, special revenue source. So I would say that the answer is yes.
Okay.
But like,
That makes a significant.
But
like he mentioned, he has to.
It hasn't been approved
Yeah.
yet.
That's correct.
I'm tracking. I just want to know what I can tell my guys.
Yep.
That's all. So where does that bring the wages? Like
I didn't hear
103 and change?
Say it again?
Where does that bring the wages? Like 103 and change?
103,887
something like that?
for existing lieutenants,
Okay.
and I bumped the probationary to $100,800.
Okay.
Okay, and again, I will, that's a verbal offer that I'm working on. I believe that is in line with what was stated before, 5% plus what I heard repeatedly during the final hearing. To go, we would have done things different. Okay? Retirement plan, I don't feel it's appropriate to discuss, those items yet because we don't have it. And the only other change, Warren, that I'm looking to do would be unless we come up with a wage agreement for year 2, is that wages would be the only article for negotiation in year 2, is the only thing I'm looking at. From the city side.
Okay. And
Yeah,
of
I
course
mean,
that's-
I'm not saying what you're looking for, just I can't think of anything else other than wages for both years, and I'm hoping that we can come to a settlement this year on retirement. I would really like to, if we have executive session here on or around June 4th, if there's something in terms of wages that are different, then that's where I would ask Warren that if we could schedule a meeting before June 4th, then I think that would help to move this along much faster than meeting afterwards.
Yeah, I'd have to take that back.
Oh, absolutely. I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm not, obviously I can't be in the middle.
Yes, sir.
Sitting here. I appreciate you being right up front with it, though. That helps. That should speed things up. Like last year, we both were waiting for forever.
Well, yeah, and my offer is the same offer that's already on the table for all the other.
Right. If I get it,
Bargaining
the 5%.
units. Yep,
I
understood,
think
sir.
fire gets a little more than 5, but
It's only on a certain portion, but the majority is 5%. It's a rounding for them. And they have been much different in terms of pay.
yeah.
So,
let's get some dates.
yes, sir.
Yep. Other than the
So,
last week of June.
okay, so could we meet on either the 28th or 29th of May, assuming that you might be able to come back at that time with your initial wage offer?
I think that's doable.
If it's on the 29th, which is a Wednesday, it's gonna have to be the afternoon, for me, because we get our PO periods
Are you-
Wednesday morning.
How about 3 o'clock on the 28th?
Tuesday the 28th?
Yes, sir.
Work for me.
My phone's doing the recording, but it'll work. I'll be here.
Okay. And then, how about June 11th at 3 p.m.? You're still on days, right?
Yes, through June, yep.
And what time?
3 p.m.
And I'm good either way, John, I'll be here. Just might get me ornery if I get up all night.
You're-
that's all.
We'll bring you some coffee.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss the bi-weekly, but I'm out the first week of July. I'm here on July 1st. So I don't have a problem meeting the morning of July 1st. So could we do 9 a.m.? Go back to our Tuesday, July 16th at 3.
Hold on, we got Monday, July 1st, 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
And then what was the next day?
July 16th at 3 p.m.
Yeah, that's be right the last 2 weeks or so.
I'm just trying to, if we keep it on the same day,
Yeah.
it keeps it much,
Good.
that way we know that's your time.
Yeah.
Okay. Then again, the same thing, if we could do July 29th, it's a Monday, but also do a 9 a.m.
I'll be out on that. You can go with it.
You good with me coming?
Sure.
Okay.
And I just won't come that day.
You can show me.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. I can't see you picking on.
And then we could pick it back up on August the 20th at 9 a.m.
I sincerely doubt we'll be using that big one worried about
I
I know, we'll set them.
I do believe, I do believe, Warren, that we will come to a consensus on something, on retirement.
Well, I believe that too.
So we have complied with everything that we have been asked to do. Now it's just a matter of, the council, given the final go-ahead to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I would like to say that we can get this wrapped up by the 20th, because I would sincerely hope that we can get this on the September 3rd agenda. That is my goal. And again, I don't want to get too deep into any negotiations until I've shared with council the valuation, because I believe, as we've discussed last year, those are integral.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
Agreed. I didn't bring a counter since I didn't know what you were bringing.
You've always been very forthright
Yeah.
with me, and I'm not saying you haven't. It's just, I wanted to just throw out there immediately.
I appreciate that.
You are, that 5% is no different than last year.
Right.
That
Yeah,
lump
it's the same offer.
sum, is additional. And I believe that is, again, that is the bridge to give the 5 members of PBA the exact dollar amount that was given to IUPA. So
Well,
I kept
they
it-
will have had double that. Because they got it all last year and then all of this year. So they will have doubled to 4250 by then.
You got it April 8th of this year. This goes back all the way to when they got it.
We'll agree to disagree.
Not a problem.
So, okay.
Now, I will leave it up to you guys, because I know this was a conversation piece back and forth during negotiations. If the city has, if PBA has any mind to change, salary versus hourly, I am not pushing that. But if that is something that y'all are wanting to come back at, again, I know that was a discussion factor. But
I was curious whether the city was gonna be pushing one way or the other.
no, sir, I have no request to do any such thing.
That would have been interesting. All right, yeah, I think we're good for today. I will confer. We will meet again on the 28th before you go into executive session, and we'll go from there.
Do you want to talk about the track changes?
Oh, yes, thank you. So we use Word, so I will send you I will send, once I have the executive session, the Word document, and if, when we go to do anything, if you would just please bring it, your
Okay,
proposals in Word with track changes.
Sure.
That way I can just merge it into my document and we don't have to sit there and retype,
Good.
please.
Easy enough.
Communications between city and union, obviously, email or Teams. If I call you, it's typically has nothing to do with this. So,
Correct.
but yeah, all communication regarding, this negotiation is to be, between Teams and or email only. That way we have a record.
Understood. Everybody good?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me make sure this ends.